When I was in seminary at the Graduate Theological Union in Berkeley, I enrolled in a class entitled The Spirituality of Aging. It was through the Lutheran Seminary. For a week in January, I experienced life in a senior residential environment in Cupertino, learning about aging and meaning through the stories of the residents who so graciously shared with me. One of our assignments was to spend an hour and a half with one resident. I was given a slip of paper, and on that paper was given the room number of the resident I was to meet. As I walked through the corridors of that facility, I was really touched by the names on the doors because most of them were Scandinavian names, and I grew up in Minnesota. So right away, I felt at home. I found her in the beauty shop located in the senior complex. We introduced ourselves and began to talk, and we began to walk, a walk that would take 90 minutes to complete to reach our destination, her apartment. She told me that she had suffered a stroke years before and apologized for her slowness. I responded that I welcomed the opportunity to slow down. As she walked, aided by a cane, she told her story. I spoke only a few words of response as we journeyed through 80 years of a remarkable life. She told me of her experience as a widow of nearly 20 years. Widowhood had meant exploitation, fear, and loneliness. It meant feeling different in a society of couples. It meant loss of income, along with a sense of vulnerability, and it meant losing someone she loved so dearly. It meant times of feeling worthless, the loss of doing the many thoughtful things she had once done for her husband. And it meant a loss of intimacy, sharing on a deeper level her thoughts, hopes, and dreams. I discovered as we journeyed slowly along the path the many dimensions of this woman's life. Through the many layers that she gracefully unfolded, I listened intently. We gazed at the plants and the flowers as we walked, and with every turn on the path, she revealed to me the deep sense of joy and appreciation for the gifts that God had given her through her widowhood. Was this the same woman confronted with the loss of her husband and the loss of a once secure lifestyle who currently lived a life that was full of gifts given to others and to God? I was moved by the contrasting aspects of her life and by the way in which she reached out to me and to those who encountered her on the path that we walked. Her ministry was to give all that she had and to share her stories with others. As we walked, I looked into her face and I saw a woman with a facial droop, a face that was truly radiant. When I was first presented with this assignment of being with a resident for 90 minutes, I thought, wow, that's a long time. It was a lifetime that passed so quickly that I found I didn't want to return to class. I wanted to hear more of her stories. Her faith in God reached across her losses, a bridge that had formed, and though a victim of a stroke and widowhood, she courageously moved across those barriers to serve God and others. She said to me, "Your life doesn't mean what you have or what you get. It is what you're willing to give away. A few weeks ago, I was given a copy of the preaching assignments for November, and I was assigned to preach on the reading from Mark, this morning's reading, the story of another widow. As I prepared this sermon, I walked along with a widow who lived 2,000 years ago, and I was again called upon to slow down and to wait to hear her story. I waited for her to teach me what it meant to be a widow and what it meant to cross the many barriers she encountered during her life.